Okay. Off. Okay. Hello, everybody. We're playing GHOSTPIA today. I'm excited. I am excited for GHOSTPIA. I am excited. Okay. Um, but I do have to use the display capture for the game. I just remembered before I press the start stream button, so I need to open it still. So give me a second here, and we will get the game started. Hi, Thorn. Congrats on being first here. Good to see you. You're doing all right. But yeah, just a warning: this game does have violent scenes. If that's not your thing, uh, understand. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let me find the display capture here. There it is. Okay. Was it too loud? I feel like that might have been too loud. I'm gonna put it down here. I'm gonna put it down here. Just gonna put it down there. Okay. Here we go. You want Miss Swamp stream today? I did too. I didn't wake up till like an hour after she went live, I think. So I don't think she was live for long. Okay. Is it capturing okay? Is the volume okay too? Sneeze already? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I guess we have 2 more episodes left. I am excited. I am excited. Sounds okay. Thank you, Sarah. Did I say it right? Oh. Okay. Oh. Hi, Sarah. Hi, dear. It's been a while, I think. Feels like it has been. Uth is fine. Okay. Sorry. Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I need to blow my nose. So we have 2 more episodes left. So maybe we might finish it tonight, or we'll finish it next week. Um, Man, I love this game. It's been too long. Stardew ate up too many streams. I wanted to play this more often. Okay, so I think we left off with us trying to find a job. I think. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens, I guess. As a self-proclaimed doctor and her bodyguard, we have an easy commute. All we have to carry is a simple box with the medical fees collected from the patients, or perhaps I should say victims. Euro carries the box on the way to work while it's still light, and I carry the box on the way back home when it gets heavy, if business is good. I'm carrying the box right now. We're pretty tired, but it's not exactly because we worked hard or anything. In any case, after work, we get back to the apartment and stop in front of the door of a room. The lock's been hacked open with an axe or something. Even the knob has been torn off. It makes me sad just looking at it. All this time, I've never even thought about how a door might feel. Yoru turns to me and looks me in the eyes without a word. I nod to let her know, to tell her I know. I then kick down the door as hard as I can. That scared me. And before the door can hit the floor, I pull a gun out of my coat and shoot through it once. Then again, and again. No response. I then throw the collection box at the ceiling in the room. When the box hits the ceiling, it explodes in a shower of coins. Her voice says, "Whoa!" But it's neither my voice nor Yoru's. Thanks for giving away your position. You see, I was only trying to get a bunch of coins on the floor so that if you stepped in one, it'd make a sound that would alert me to your position. So you just saved me the trouble, I guess. The rest is simple. This happens every day, after all. I rush over and fire a shot at the crown of his head. Speed is key. Just like it is with our commute to work. When I turn around, not only is Zero standing there, but so are Pacifica and Anya. I vaguely wave to them. Anya says, "What's up with that?" Well, Pacifica waves back. "It is what it is," I reply. As a self-proclaimed doctor and her bodyguard, we have an easy commute. But lately, I've got a heavy heart. What was that? Someone broke into the apartment? Apparently it happens all the time. The music is so good. Must be a pain. Things are going fine at first, though. We've been worrying about something lately. That's the fact that assailants attack us on the way back from work every day. The priest definitely has something to do with it. He's barging into kids' rooms? I know he's a father, but he's not a dad. Coffee's ready. Hiro slams coffee cups onto... Oh, wait, I need to go back. Okay. Okay. There we go. Woo. The priest definitely has something to do with it. He's barging into kids' rooms. I know he's a father, but he's not a dad. Here, coffee's ready. Hiro slams coffee cups onto the table, making more noise than necessary. The rims of each cup are slightly chipped. I suppose it's only to be expected, considering the cupboard containing the cups was recklessly toppled over during the home invasion. The room was dirty to begin with, but it's my only home. And now that the enemy has invaded it, it's no longer a safe place. It's a pain indeed. I stare at the rim of my cup to distract myself from the man's corpse still on the floor. This place is home to many memories. I can't say they're all good memories, but they're irreplaceable. And now, it feels like those memories were tainted. But perhaps this is my fault. It probably is. It's because of my improper methods. I don't know what they call themselves, but he must be in that worthless group of hoodlums who eat sweets around the clock. So he's not with the church? Well, yes and no. The church's power runs deep and wide, both economically and physically. Almost every business, association, and even hobby club runs with the support of the church if you trace the chain of command far enough. Whether the people at the bottom of the chain know it or not, they're financially backed by the church. The assailants attacking you are probably doing so under the orders of some scumbag boss. Either that boss or the boss's boss is probably under the orders of the church. So that's why they can do these things without batting an eyelid. And there's also the fact that other organizations won't have any reason to target you. I feel bad. Her explanation is simple and logical, but if it's true, then there's nowhere to run. I guess you need a sturdier door, huh? We've saved up a bit of money, so if you could set us up, I'd appreciate it, as quickly as possible. Well, I'm not sure how much I can fudge the schedule personally, but I can manage before long. How long is before long, exactly? But how are you, Uth? How are you, Thwang? Hope you guys are doing okay. Well, it won't take 9,999 days, that's for sure. That's not before long at all! I shout louder than I expected, but the one I spooked the most was with that shout was most definitely myself. I'm not mad or anything, just a little tired, to be honest. Sayoko, don't worry. Most of the clients at her workshop are my referrals, so I can help ease up the line just a bit. What you need to do right now is bear with it just a little while longer, and that's something only you can do, so... Look! This guy's got 3 magazines on him. Please don't show me that! I don't know when Yoro started frisking the body, but she speaks up after finding something. All of the assassins have been men armed with a variety of weapons. Looting weapons from the bodies helps us build an arsenal, and hopefully should serve as a deterrent as the enemy realizes they're just handing us more and more weapons. But there's no need to do that right now, is there? You think I frisk dead bodies for fun? Tell Sayako you're sorry for being a shitty, inconsiderate dumbass. Whoa! I'm sorry for being a shitty, inconsiderate dumbass. Well said. Wouldn't you agree, Sayako? What you walking to? Hi, Floof. Hi, dear. It's good to see you. Hope you've been doing okay. We're playing GHOSTPIA. We started episode 4. Chapter 4? I think they're episodes. This game does have violent scenes. If that's not your thing, I understand. But it does get violent at times. Sayako, I'm not you. I can't speak for you, and I don't know how it feels to be targeted by assassins every day, but I swear I'll track the culprit down for you. Put her in an arm lock? So please bear with it until then. You don't have to do anything else. Just bear with it. That's your job right now. Just trust me. This cute game? Yep. I think Pacifica is strong. Far stronger than me, and she's right. You aren't me. I trust you. Well said. I give you 100 out of 100. Yeah, it's called GHOSTPIA. Not enough people are playing it. It's good. Satisfied, Pacifica lets go of Yoro before leaving with Anya. Without me even saying anything, the two of them pick up the corpse and give me a nod as if to say, leave the rest to us. Once they're gone, I clean up the wrecked, coin-strewn room and murmur to myself. I sure hope I can bear with it. Usually we talk about the patience of the day before going to sleep, but today we're deathly quiet. We still feel slightly reserved around each other, and we don't have much to do or talk about, so we simply get ready for bed. Sorry about earlier. I've been a little weird today. Or rather, these past few days. Oh, it's so cute! Everyone is a little bit weird. It's something I've been saying to my patients a lot lately. I see. That's reassuring. Yeah. After that short conversation, I turn off the lights. I wake up to the sound of the doorbell. Who could it be at this late at night? I mean this close to dawn? Door repair? No, it's way too soon for that. Package delivery. For a second, I wish Yora would get it, but she's dead asleep. Even more dead than a ghost, with her leg entangled around mine. Yora's pajamas are so unbuttoned she's practically not even wearing them. I chuckle to myself because I've grown so used to seeing her like that it doesn't even faze me. Tomorrow's going to be like any other day. Walk with Yoro and we'll go to work together. I slip on my slippers and slip out of bed. There's a slight crack in the hastily duct-taped door. It's dark in the room and bright in the hall. I can see someone standing outside without even having to get close to the crack. You don't trust it? Those boots are familiar. They're the same ones worn not by today's assailant, but an earlier one. It's got a pretty heavy package with him. Whenever I loot a gun from our assailants, I toss it under our bed. If I just reach in, I'll find what I need. There we go. For just a moment, I worry if I'll wake up Yoru. Well, whatever. I'll be right there. I pull the trigger. Yoru doesn't wake up. I just hear a groan from across the door. I kick the door open, head into the hall. I do indeed recognize the man tottering up the stairs. Dots of blood line the floor, like a trail of breadcrumbs leading the way. The bloodstains get bigger as I go up the stairs. It's a sign the man's getting weaker, which should normally be a good thing. That's why I think to myself, well, it should be fine. I've just become that desensitized to these sorts of armed conflicts. However, something's a little off about this particular situation. That's not going to help you, you know. Who's that? The man doesn't react to my warning, leaving us at a stalemate. By the way, ham's delicious. I haven't had any in a while. Do you know any good places to get ham? I've been living off canned food lately. As you'd expect, the man just looks at me incredulously as if to say, what's her problem? Now's your chance. Whoever you are. Fire! That's the first word I ever hear from her. She says it too spontaneously. My body just naturally flows into motion. It's as if my body were built to respond to that voice command all along. Her voice is curious, but not for that reason alone. It's sweet. Metaphorically, I mean. No, wait. That's maybe only half true. Somehow, it really does feel sweet. It's kind of a strange sensation. Oh, don't mind me. Hi, Tweely. That emote's so cute! It's so cute! Thorn, I don't know if you're still here, Thorn, but can we get a shout out for Tweely, please? What just happened? She fired. Hi, Tweely. How are you, dear? Your emotes are so cute. They're so cute. We're playing more GHOSTPIA tonight. It fixes buttholes? Yeah. You love them? I love them too. Love? Yes. I stare as steam pipes up from the cup of tea placed before me. The rim isn't chipped on this cup, obviously. The one who made the tea is the tall adult woman who helped out during the scuffle. Her bangs cover her face, so I can't tell where she's looking or read her expression. At the very least, her lips look emotionless. She's honestly a little scary. Nighty! I forget about the security deposit. Yo. Hi, Nighty. Hi, dear. It's good to see you. I can talk, I promise. How are you, dear? Her stoicism and burly physique really contrast with the other girl's gentle smile and delicate figure. Living room looks cozy? Yeah. But what's the most striking about the burly woman is the gaping hole in her gut. It's the gunshot wound from the bullet that pierced through the man's body. I have no idea how much kinetic energy a bullet can maintain after piercing through a man's body. But in any case, the bullet pierced through her clothes, and there's blood soaking around the hole. It can't just be a flesh wound. You're doing good? That's good I'm glad to hear it. Yet she's completely calm, and she's not the only one. Teehee, help yourself. The other girl is just as calm. Nighty! Thank you for resubscribing. With Prime, thank you, dear. Mwah. Appreciate you, it means a lot. Thank you, dear. You need tea? Those sound good. The tire part of the wheelchair smoothly and easily moves across the rug without a problem. Seems like a pretty high-class item. It must run on supermagnetism or anti-gravity or something like that. Are those technologies commonplace now? I feel like they are, but I also feel like they're expensive. The other girl sits down a little bit away from us, abruptly rolls up her shirt and exposes the gunshot wound on her stomach. Oof. She then quickly takes a first aid kit out of a briefcase and with a skilled hand, she quickly disinfects the wound and extracts the bolt with large tweezers. She's so calm and nonchalant, you'd think she was just popping a pimple. Hi, Brad. Mwah. Hi, dear. I hope we're doing alright. Are you okay? I call out to her without thinking. I'm the reason she got hurt, after all. Met. My name. Don't worry about my injury. I trained. Miss Met's voice is way more gentle than I imagined. It makes me kind of happy. Though I'd be happier if I didn't see the shiny red bullet in the tip of her tweezers. We're ghosts, after all. Even bullet wounds go back to normal before long. What's most important is to avoid immediate death. Oh, I'm Sayoko. I know, you're famous. Isn't that right, Met? Famous indeed. I'm sitting on a sofa in a room just 2 floors above ours, trying to make myself as small as possible. Our entire room is smaller than just this living room. This, I think it's a living room. Is it still a living room if we're dead? Is this just how the top floor is? It's like the presidential suite of a hotel. Am I in the way? Can you guys see who's talking? I feel like I'm in the way. I am. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna move. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. The wrong window. Move over here. I'll put myself down here. Sorry about the activate Windows thing. I'm sorry about that. Maybe, whoops. Do it again. Put myself like down here. Yeah. Maybe down here. Yeah, I'll just sit right here. Maybe that'll work. Oh no! It was rewinding. Okay. Oh, that's still not working. It's not working. I'm just gonna put myself over here. I'm just gonna put myself like right here. There we go. Oh, I haven't introduced myself, have I? Introduced myself, have I? I'm Renalda. I'd appreciate it if you called me Renja. Hi, Ninetail. Hi, dear. Okay, Renja and Miss Met. Good to have you as a new friend, Sayoko. Renja leans forward and reaches out her hand. I quickly take her hand so that she doesn't fall out of her wheelchair. Something smells so nice. It makes me a little dizzy. What is that smell? Teddy in front of the test. Am I in the way of the text? I was trying to move so you could see the little portraits of who's talking in the corner. I don't know where to go. 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 I'll just be back here in the corner. I don't know where to go. I'm just gonna sit here. Like, yeah. Does this work? I'll just be here. Okay. Something smells so nice. Makes me a little dizzy. What is that smell? I'm flustered, but she's smiling at me from across the table as she hugs a pink plush toy that I feel like I've seen somewhere before, long ago. She's perfect. This is my room. Don't tell me to be in the corner. I didn't do anything wrong. I see. She looks younger than me. Younger than Anya. Maybe around Clara's age. She seems more composed and mature than Clara, but she ends up looking to be the same age due to how she just won't let go of that plush toy. My ongoing? Do I just need to take the model off? No Teddy today. No Teddy today. Or is it fine that you guys can't see the portrait in the corner? I'm just kidding. Is that better? Is that fine? You guys, there's a little portrait that's supposed to be here. That is here. Of like the character that's talking. And I feel like it's important for you guys to see that. I feel like that's important. Maybe if I take the blanket off. Goodbye, blanket. Just be real small, maybe. Just real tiny. We're gonna be real tiny today. Real tiny. Tiny Teddy. Okay. I feel like that works. That works. So I guess I can speak more casually with her. It'd be a bit weird to act all formal with someone younger than me. Younger than me, after all. Or is that just my pride talking? After overthinking it, I end up stumbling my response. The kitchen's in another room, you see. I see. It might be a bit bigger than your room. You must be rich. It's because I make a lot of things, like what's on that plate. On top of the plate are sweeps wrapped in a stylish plastic bag, something you'd expect to see at a brand name store. So, I guess she sells sweets? Maybe that's how she's earned her riches. Ninetail! I'd be happy if you drank that tea before it gets cold. It's more delicious when it's hot. You're curious how I know about you, aren't you? It's because I've had my eye on you for quite some time, Sayoko. You have such long, beautiful eyelashes. My heart skips a beat. half out of joy and half out of surprise. Renja's got long eyelashes herself, and it seems like there's not a single flaw about her. I don't know how else to put it, but she's got an immaculate atmosphere to her. She's got the luxurious appearance of a princess, but the calm voice of a queen. She's refined and refreshing, like well-chilled imported mineral water that you'd find in a somewhat fancy supermarket by the station. Okay, that's a weird metaphor, but still. But your hair could use a little work. Do you do proper hair treatment when you take a bath? Hair treatment. That sounds like such a foreign word to me. In fact, I only started to take baths when Pacifica Nania told me to. But at least I'm better than Yoru, okay? She doesn't even take baths if you tell her to. I'll share what I use with you. Oh, no, I couldn't. That way your hair will smell. That way your hair will smell the same. Our hair will smell the same. Wenja looks right at me with her reddish-brown eyes. I don't understand the meaning of her gaze. Despite Renja seemingly knowing everything about me, I have no idea how she feels at all. Oh, okay. You know, this tastes pretty good for a powder anyway. Living things do not exist in this town, and perhaps for that reason, most food products aren't fresh, but processed foods like smoked meat, sausages, or vacuum-sealed cook meals. We won't even drink coffee brewed from roasted beans, just freeze-dried instant coffee. I don't have many opportunities to drink tea, but this tea is probably made from powder rather than actual leaves. After hesitating for a moment, I take a sip. It's sweet, but the flavor doesn't leap out at me. It just vaguely tastes like expensive tea. Oh. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. It reminds me of some tea I had with a friend when I went to a tart stand inside a department store. I think. Wait, what's a department store? Thank you for saving me. Don't mention it. I mean, it was kind of my fault to begin with. You'll be my friend, won't you? Huh? I know it might sound weird for me to say this, but I just thought you were so cool and amazing back there, Sayoko. I'd love to have a friend like you, Sayoko. That is, if you think I deserve it. You know, maybe some good can come out of pretending to be a ninja in some strange town in the middle of nowhere after all. I don't know how to say it, but this experience is special to me. You see, it'd make me very happy. Ah, I'd be happy to. We talk for a while after that. I see you, Ninetail. The way Renja speaks is different from the other ghosts I've met. She carefully and courteously chooses each individual word slowly, but surely, as if carefully constructing a building. I see nothing. I can see. She leads the conversation so well. Even I can keep up with her despite how I usually stumble at questions as simple as, how's the weather? As someone who's exhausted every day, this conversation is a blessing. Yo. When Yoru and I enter the cafe, Anya raises her hand to catch our attention. You're early. Sorry for calling you out here. Hey, no sweat. What should we order? Don't bother with the new menu items. They're not very good. Really? I want to apologize for yesterday, but I can't find the proper timing, so I end up awkwardly biding my time. Biding my time. Order pizza? I had pizza today. It was Domino's. The crust was way too thin, so the pizza just fell apart. It was still good though, but the crust was way too thin. There was barely crust. Barely crust on that pizza. Well, the crust on the outside of the pizza was fine, but like, you know, underneath the pizza, the center of the pizza, it was way too thin. I want to apologize for yesterday, but I can't find that proper timing, so I end up awkwardly biding my time. It tasted good though, it was just really messy. It was mostly sauce. But Pacifica arrived soon enough, and after some small talk, we get to the point. Yeah, I guess as long as I apologize by the time we head out, I'm good. So this is the thing I wanted to show you guys today. Last few times we ordered it. We get it because it's pretty much the cheapest option for pizza. Pretty much. Pizza and ice cream at work today? Oh my goodness. Anya tosses a small resealable bag onto the table. And cake? Oh my goodness. It's a potato bug! Maybe? Ew, gross. In the bag is what appears to be a thumb-sized, oddly metallic pill bug. No, wait. It has too few legs to be a pill bug. Banana cake? That sounds pretty good. I like banana bread. In any case, it's quite a curious creature. We found it on that corpse you took care of the other day. Just give the cake. He had an unnatural looking wound, so I had her examine it. If your memory is accurate, Sayoko, he arrived a few days ago, correct? I wasn't sure if someone could get a wound like that in just a few days. Few days, you see. And what do you know? Jackpot. At first I thought it was an implant, or a beacon, or something. But then I thought, why would you spend that much money on henchmen sent on suicide missions? Anya picks up Pacifica's cue. Anya picks up on Pacifica's cue. There must be something Anya knows about this thing that even Pacifica doesn't. I listen intently. This thing is, well, basically put, a soldier controller, receiver. So essentially, there's a main control unit out there somewhere that can manipulate dudes with this receiver implanted into them. Controller? Main unit? Manipulate? I'm a little confused by all these video game-esque terms. It makes me think we've come a long way, both technologically and physically. I'm pretty sure I thought the same thing once before I tried to go to the outside world, yearning to go home. At first, I thought it was to ensure their henchmen don't go AWOL under enemy fire. But that doesn't make much sense. There are so many better ways to get people to do what you say, like special rewards. Giving away all the sweets you can eat is the way to go. So you can figure it out in the end. Who do you think I am? I'm Anya, the fearless leader. Of course I looked into it. These things were used in the closing years of the Great War when the upper brass was clearly losing command of their forces and needed to minimize the damage caused by defection. Okay. This is the first we've heard of a Great War. So they tried using technology to artificially solve low morale, huh? Basically, I wonder where these guys are sending their orders from. It looks like the main unit can send the orders do and don't. I think it works by commandeering the reward pathways of the brain and tinkering with them freely. Like how parasites can make grasshoppers gladly drown themselves in a river. At least that's how I think it works. You did bring some cake home? Was left over from catering? Ooh, nice. Nice. What does this mean? Well, you tell someone to do something and they must do it. Tell them don't and they must not do it. You lay down the rules. I don't know how much it costs to fully replace a brain with a machine, but unlike a robot or cyborg, these soldiers can think about various aspects of their missions, and can thus violate parts of the orders as long as they uphold the order overall. Now that's a blatant disregard for human rights. Yeah, I guess it beats national collapse, though. You sound like an expert. Actually, I just heard this from an acquaintance of mine who happens to be an expert. He's a man, by the way. Yeah. So what? Oh my, what a lively reaction we've got here. I guess even Anya gets around, huh? Hey, cut it out! But do's and don'ts. But what do's and don'ts were those guys told? We just don't know. Don't rat out your own boss, maybe? I see. That does make sense. Guess we've got no choice but to capture the next assassin alive. Okay, I'll try. On the bright side, at least we're not dealing with gene-altering mutant manufacturing machine technology, I guess. I'd say the odds would be 50-50 in that case. Teenage Ninja versus Mutant would still be a tough matchup, huh? Teenage Ninja versus Mutant. Okay. Here we are. Would still be a tough matchup, huh? Guns. Huh? It's only 50-50 if it's unarmed. And if we include guns in the mix? I chuckled knowingly. I'll leave it to you. Glad to see you're doing well. That's probably thanks to my conversation with Renja. It's also thanks to the support you all give me too, of course. I feel a little guilty about not talking to anyone about my conversation with Renja. I know I could just talk about it, but considering all the effort Pacific and Anya just went through to make me a new friend, it'd be a little rude of me to just casually mention how I've made a new friend and had tea with her behind their backs. I'm sorry about yesterday. Don't sweat it. It's all in the past. And thus, we plot to capture the next would-be assassin and cut him open according to Yoru's suggestion. On the way home, she buys the sturdiest rope available at the store, thus completing preparations. But unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, we're not attacked by an assassin on the way back. The man who used the delivery man approach yesterday was supposed to be in charge of today's assassination attempt, but since he jumped the gun and died, I suppose he's taking the day off. As I think to myself and space out, the phone rings. Hello? Hello, Sayoko? Sorry for calling so late. It's okay, I was still awake. Did something happen? Yeah, kind of. Can you come over to my house? I take a look at Yoru and to see she's dozed off while reading a book. It's a pain trying to wake her up. I really need to get to pay more attention to the time. We'll go on so I've woken up Yoru. That'll take a little time. No, I'd prefer if you came alone. But we don't know when the next attack will happen. It'll be fine, just for tonight, I guarantee it. Anya's here already, we'll be waiting. Okay, I'll hurry. I'm going. I pat Yoru on the forehead. I hear her mumble incoherently behind me as I head out into town. Gonna get some sleep? Good night, Floof. Thank you for stopping by, dear. It's always good to see you. Mwah. Get some good sleeps. Guess this is my third time going to Pacifica's house. Since it's already early, I hesitate for a moment before ringing the doorbell. But Pacifica doesn't answer. Something like this has happened before, so I wait a bit before trying again, figuring she might be using the bathroom or something. I try to simulate the situation in my head a few times to see what the best outcome would be. I feel a little happy that I've been remembering more things lately. An entire conversation plays out in my head as I wait. And yet there's no sign of Pacifica answering the door. I really hope someone didn't break into her house to settle a grudge or to steal anything. I grabbed the doorknob. It turns without any resistance, meaning it wasn't locked. Something's clearly wrong here. I should have done this to begin with. I barged into Pacifica's house as vigilantly as possible. There's no sign of any human, or rather ghost presence. Instead, all that's in the living room is steaming food and coffee on the table. Normally the smell of the food would make me hungry, but something feels ominous about this place. Someone must have broken in here after all. No, that would make sense. If I were a home invader, a table with food on it is the first thing I'd topple over. I decide to wait. Pacifica's a busy ghost, I think. Perhaps something urgent came up and interrupted her meal. Since it's cold outside, I decided to take just the coffee. Sorry for swiping the coffee. Perhaps this coffee was actually meant for me, as it's a little sweet. I sip the coffee and sit on the sofa as I wait for the owner of the house to return. At first, I'm a little worried if there's an invader or not. But the warm room, the fluffy sofa, and the scent of Pacifica's perfume lingering on the fabric relaxes me so much. By the time I start to feel a little bored, I get struck by a bout of sleepiness. Sweet things are so relaxing, huh? Just like Pacifica. And Rencha, too. I think Rencha comes out on top in terms of sugar content. Pacifica's more of a mature taste. I try to get up when I start thinking weird thoughts like that, but it seems that I'm at my limit. I decide to take just a short nap. Pacifica might be shocked to find me like this. Uh-oh. The coffee was drugged. Then they're gonna take... I don't remember what her name is. They're gonna take the girl with blue hair. Pacifica's house has efficient heating, so I guess this is just how it gets sometimes. My eyelids feel so heavy, but I force my body to get up since I know I can't just sleep here forever. Pacifica? I open my eyes. Oh, the house is on fire. I wish I hadn't. I want to believe this is just a dream. I mean, I could try going back to sleep. The living room is engulfed in a sea of flames, but just about everything is on fire except for me. But it doesn't look like it'll be that way for long. I smell a faint hint of gasoline. I wonder why I didn't notice until now. It's way more overwhelming than the smell of burning wood, fabric, or plastic. This is arson, isn't it? But why? Wait, first things first, I gotta get out of here. With all the warning alarms going off in my head, I should have jumped out of my seat, but I don't. Huh? I can't stand up. I can stand up, but not for long. Even if I brace my legs, the upper half of my body doesn't balance along with them. I tell my body to hold on, but the command just fizzles out before it can spread all the way. I'm frustrated, but even the frustration fizzles out. My mind goes blank. It's like I tried to count to 16, but I can only get to 8. Hi, Bread. Mwah. Bread, I'm very proud of you, and you're a very, very good Bread. I'm very proud of you, dear. I start to break out into a sweat, filling my clothes with unpleasant dampness. I need to use that displeasure as a tool to prop up my feeble concentration. When I totter over to the table, I consider placing my hands on the edge, probably due to smoke inhalation. Unfortunately, I probably can't run my way out of here. I look around. The window. If I try going out the front door, I'll most certainly lose consciousness before I get there. I place my hands on the glass. I gather up all the strength I can muster and smash it. The fresh air touches my cheek. Almost there. Hang in there. Get your upper body out the window. Ugh. When my face slams into the ground, I know I've successfully escaped. I hear several footsteps in the snow. When I notice people gathering around me, I know that I've only gotten out of the fire and into the frying pan. Arson means there's an arsonist. And if there's one arsonist, why not several of them? Can you take them on? I ask myself. I don't think I can take them on. Can you do something? I don't think I can do anything. How many are we dealing with? About 3 men, I suppose. Why would they gang up on a girl? Isn't it obvious? Kill them. Everything. You couldn't do that. Day. I'll make it happen. I take my gun out of my pocket, and without even taking proper aim, I fire at one of them. What happens after that? Beats me. The world seems to move frame by frame, but with several frames missing. Oh, goodness. Before I realize it, I've dropped my gun. Aw, oh, damn it. The men glare at me. My body can't move anymore. Not even my brain. I'll kill them. The only thing inside of me is that single-minded intention. Time slowly drags on. The sudden sound of a siren snaps me back to my senses. The police car stops. Police! What's going on over here? A familiar-looking plainclothes police officer shouts from the police car window. Mind explaining yourselves? When the officer tries to get out of his car, the men shoot at it. But all they get out of it is a few cracks in the windshield. Hey, you can't just shoot at a police officer like that, you know? The officer acts somewhat predictably, and then... Hey Ninja, sorry in advance if I hit you. He says that before firing a shotgun. I hear repeated alternation between gunshot and pump action. The stimulation overload fries my burnt-out nerves, leaving me completely disoriented. Before I know it, it's just me and the officer. The other men run away. The police officer then turns to me and continues. Hey, no need to be so apprehensive. I'm on your side today. Liar. I'll kill you, I swear. I say exactly what crosses my mind. I see. Wow, that's scary. But his casual tone of voice is nothing but proof that the danger is gone, which makes me happy and relieved. Maybe I can let my guard down just a little. And then... Ah. There's nothing little about me letting my guard down here since I lose consciousness entirely. They put one of those bugs in us. They definitely put one of those bugs in us, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what happened. Then why would they light the house on fire? I wake up when I notice the characteristic rumbling of a car driving down the road. Every time the car shakes, my head aches, and I curse. Hey, I don't think that's appropriate language for a young girl your age. I'm laying down in the rear seat. The chief's driving, so I can't read his facial expression. Excuse... Why did you save me? Well, I rushed to the scene since the house was on fire, and when I got there I found some men ganging up on a girl. And as a police officer, it's my duty to protect and serve you. I thought you were the enemy. The chief guffaws, exhaling loudly with each ha. True, the police does have a cooperative relationship with the church, but it's not like the police's main duty is to serve the church. It's to protect the town. So it's for convenience? We want to protect the town, and if that means picking sides, we'll pick them. So about the fire, we're investigating. We are, but the homeowner, Pacifica? Yeah, I think she's kind of had it coming, honestly. When you live that luxuriously, you have to expect at least a little arson. Hi, Tedo. Hi, dear. Thank you for being here. Brad, I'm very proud of you, dear. You're very sweet. Thank you for being here. Mwah. Pacifica's not a bad person. That's right. Pacifica's strong, smart, well-connected, and most of all, she protects me. Well, in that case, the church isn't bad either, huh? She's not like the church. Nah, doing business on a scale like hers while also keeping the church at bay isn't as easy as you think. You've got to do some pretty messed up stuff to manage that. Hi, Ninetail. That can't be the case. She's probably trying to seize control of the town away from the priest. That's what they've been saying since forever, at least. Not only does my head hurt, now my heart's throbbing too. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. There's a side of Pacifica that I don't know. A side that I'm too afraid to know. But what if I'm most afraid of losing? But what I'm most afraid of losing is my trust in her. I want to believe in her. Thank you. Hi, Nightcap. Everyone's whispering that she's seriously vying for the top spot of the food chain. She's got the strongest bodyguard in town on her side, after all. So that's what people think about my relationship with Pacifica, huh? That's not true. We're precious friends. Pacifica's the one who brought me out of my room, you know. Me? Well, we sat up. The chief slightly nods. Why did Pacifica bring me out of my room? Is it because she needed me? Or just because anybody with great physical strength? Huh. Haha. It can't possibly be the latter. We delivered a letter today. That's something we do every so often. We've earned a fair bit of trust, see? And? It was a letter from the church to you-know-who. Before I realized it, I'm gritting my teeth. The palm of my hands hurt too since I'm clenching my fists and digging my nails into my skin. What sounds good right now? Burgers? A burger sounds pretty good. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, alright. My coat's moist with a strange sweat. I feel so uncomfortable. I let out a groan. What was the letter about? Okay, Ninetail. Thank you for the squats. How should I know? We just delivered it. But I can hazard a guess. On second thought, never mind. Oh, do I turn left here? Out with it. You'll just get mad if I tell you. I can hurl you into a wall again, and I won't hold back this time. I try to be as threatening as possible. It looks like it worked, as Chief begins to speak slowly after a short pause. I just think it's something like, if you want to join us, now's your final chance. First they form a business partnership with her, then they seize her sympathizers. That's their usual modus operandi, isn't it? That can't be right, can it? Well, that's just my take on it anyway. What a weird take. I don't say anything after that. My head hurts too much. The officer says something and opens the police car door. In front of me is my apartment complex. My headache's getting noticeably worse, but I make a mad dash for my room anyway. The police really is poop. All cops are poop. As if I'm ever going to thank you for anything. When I get back to the room, Yoru is asleep. Her lips are at the odd sort of volume. Sorry. Her lips are at the odd sort of volume where they can neither be called thin nor thick, but I can't help but touch them. My fingers leave a tawny trail. Maybe it's mud. Maybe it's soot. Maybe it's blood. I think it's chilly. I think this chilly, clean room is a stark contrast to me. I feel out of place here. I'm filthy from crawling on the floor through the fire. I still feel hot. Only now do I notice the burn on the base of my neck. Guess I'll go take a bath. Maybe that'll lighten my mood. That must mean my mood is bad. I suppose I do take a bath whenever I'm in a bad mood. When I take off my clothes and timidly give them a smell, they definitely stink. Like a flea market of bad smells. Ugh, I whispered to myself as I tossed my very last article of clothing into the washing machine. I then head to the narrow bathtub on my modular bathroom and twist open the hot water faucet. Crap! I curse my own foolishness for not drawing the bath first, as I shiver in the cold bathroom with my clothes in the washing machine. If I had filled the tub first, I may have just jumped in as is. But as it stands, it just feels like kind of wrong to get into a half-filled tub. I feel cold. Oh, wait. I've got bath towels, don't I? I turn around and look at the shelf behind me, but then the bathroom door opens. Wearing her pajamas, Yora looks this way in surprise. Whoa! I grab the bath towel off the top shelf and hide my unsightly self. We may be roommates, we may sleep in the same bed, but we've still got boundaries. And it's Yoro of all people. How could I be comfortable showing myself to her? You taking a bath too, Sayoko? That's unusual. Well, yeah. I have to every now and then, at least. I got a soily taste in my mouth as I was sleeping, and so I realized that I haven't been brushing my teeth lately. So I should probably go do that. Brushing your teeth is important, isn't it? Yes, it is! It's important! Yeah. Apparently your teeth will rot if you don't brush. Huh? That's kind of scary. I kind of like these awkward conversations we have. It's familiar and relaxing, like a pair of shoes you've broken in. I got a little dirty myself, so I need to go clean up my body. There's something I like to talk about once I'm done taking a bath. She caught me by surprise, but this could actually be a big chance for me now that I think about it. It's almost dawn, our obligatory curfew, where ghosts cannot maintain consciousness. What I have to tell Yoro isn't easy to talk about, and I don't know how to follow it up once I'm done. That's why it's reassuring that I can rely on Dawn to forcibly bring any and all conversation to a close. It's a little unfair, I know. I figure I'll warm up my courage in the bath, but as soon as that idea crosses my mind, Yoro nonchalantly speaks up. No, it's fine. We can talk here. You can go ahead and take your bath as we talk, Sayoko. Huh? Ah, the tub's gonna overflow. Whoa! Enjoy. Urged by Yoro, I head to the full to the brim bathtub and plop my body into the water. After a second of thinking, I should shut the curtain. Even I need my privacy sometimes, you know. The scent of fresh steam billows up from just below my nose. Even when I'm in an unknown town in some faraway country, this alone remains the same. Even when I've become something as incomprehensible as a ghost. On the other side of the curtain, I can hear Yoro start brushing her teeth. I let out a sigh. Hey Yoro, can you hear me? Yoro grunts. I guess that means she can hear me. Earlier today, Pacifica called me on the phone and said she had something important to talk about, so I should go over to her house. You had to woke me up so I could come too. I should have woken you up so you could come too? That's what I was thinking, but she said to come alone. Though I guess it'd be less dangerous if something happened along the way when I was alone. Well, something did indeed happen, which is why I'm bringing this up now. It's a good thing I didn't bring Yoro with me. It is. I didn't catch that, but you want to know what happened next, huh? Well, when I got to Pacifica's house, nobody was home, and like an idiot, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I fall silent for a moment. Or rather, I find it in me to keep talking. I recall that moment of despair. I've got a thick skin, and a thick skull to boot. At least that's how I've always seen myself. But when I think about the despair and hopelessness I felt that moment when I woke up, the back of my throat clenches and I can't get any words out. Everything burned in the room. Perhaps catching on to my current state, Hero stops brushing her teeth. The pathetic sound of my wheezing echoes through the bathroom. I lose track of the passage of time after that. The sound of rustling clothes mixes in with the sound of my heavy breaths. The curtain opens. Excuse me, can you scooch a bit? A fully naked Euro steps into the bathtub, pushing me a little to the side. The excess water gushes out with a hearty splash. It seems kind of wasteful. Why? We share a bed, so why not a bath too? Let's lay together and bare our skin together so we can lay bare the truth together. That makes sense, I guess. You know that showing skin to each other in a friendly way thing you told me about, Sayoko? That's so weird. It might be weird, but I don't mean anything weird by it. You're overthinking things, Sayoko. Huh. Anyway, let's move on. Whenever Yoro talks, a fresh but artificial mint scent tickles my nose. I don't remember telling her about that cultural tidbit. In fact, it feels more like a cultural tidbit between boys, if anything. But maybe I'm just upset that I can't remember telling her about it. Tell me everything that happened. I want to know. This bathtub wasn't made for two. Our legs are touching. I can feel our body heat, which is a little lower than the heat of the water. To keep my eyes from wandering, I look at my knees. Ah, I've got a scrape. When I woke up, everything was on fire. I was scared. So there are things even you're afraid of, huh, Sayoko? Of course there are. Lots of them. That must have been a scary experience. Hero's hand moves underneath the surface. Her fingertips crawl over my calf, like a ghost without a place to go. You've been saving guns underneath the bed, right? I've got a few, at least. Where's she going with this? I was organizing them earlier and I found one gun that looked familiar. What do you mean? It was that big gun that Pacifica used the other day to shoot that What's-his-face guy. I do remember that gun. Pacifica swiped it off Mort when he suddenly rushed into her house the other day. Oh yeah, I remember that. She did say, this thing's dangerous, so keep it in the vault until it disappears by itself, didn't she? My fingertips feel cold, even though the water's so warm. It was an unusual gun for sure, but maybe that's just a doppelgunner. They're probably just similar guns. I mean, they are mass-produced after all. I got scared thinking why Pacifica would give that gun to one of those hooligans. So scared I couldn't mention it. Maybe she needed the money or something. Yeah? Hopefully it's something like that. Okay, your turn, Sayoko. Huh? You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but I think talking things through will help you feel a bit better. Um, that's my opinion as a specialist, at least. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I'm fine, but I just suck at talking, so I might... I'm sorry. In slow, stuttered words, I managed to tell her what happened after that. How the chief happened to come to my rescue, and the unpleasant things he told me after that. If we were talking anywhere else besides the bathtub, I might have withheld several details or exaggerated the number of men threefold. And I definitely wouldn't have told her about what I heard from the chief. But the warmth of the water and the sensation of Euro's skin made me so feel made me feel so relaxed and, well, bare, that I can't help but bear the truth. I see. That must have been rough. I was scared, but just a little. Are you still scared? Just a little. I see. Euro starts stirring, and for some reason she strokes her wet fingers through my hair. Aww. I think I'll take a break from my medical practice for a while. I softly gasped at Euro's declaration, because I had the feeling if we'd have to talk about that once we got out of the bath. But it took her so much work to get that job. I don't want to take it away from her. Even someone as dense as me can tell that. Yoro thoroughly enjoys that job. But she might be the next thing to go. I was ready to protect her, even if it meant taking away the only joy in her life. Even if it meant making her hate me. I'm sorry. You have nothing to apologize for. That was Sayoko. But in the end, I didn't even need to tell her to quit her job. I didn't have to make her hate me. Such a relief. It feels like a weight's been taken off my shoulders. Sayoko. Yes? I'm so sleepy. Yeah, me too. Euro's droopy eyes look quite sleepy indeed. Mine must look just like hers. I see. The sun must be starting to rise beyond these small bathroom walls. Ghosts are creatures of the night, and are therefore not allowed to be awake in the light of day. That's why we inevitably grow tired and fall asleep. I guess this is fine every now and then. We're too tired to even get out of the bathtub. Whether we like it or not, our senses seem to dissolve into the bathwater as we doze off to sleep. The situation reminds me of something. Oh, right. A double suicide. Death dissolves the boundary between the two of us as we melt into a puddle together and disappear. It's a fairly blessed feeling, to be honest. It sure beats the feeling of decaying in isolation, at least. She's my other half. I have to protect her. At least that's how I feel. And just like that, it's morning, I think. That was cute. Alright, let me drink some water real quick. When a major event happens, it's not the event itself that changes us. What changes us is the new normal brought upon us by it. If I were to become someone completely different tomorrow, then both I and everyone else around me would be able to notice. But that's not actually what happens. We change so slowly, nobody notices. By the time you do notice, you've already changed past the point of no return. I'm walking through the garbage dump again today. Because if Pacifica and Nani are back, then they should show up here. But they haven't come back. Either they didn't die or I just missed their revival. The attacks have stopped, both at home and on the streets. But I have no idea why. Were the were the assailants after those two Were the assailants after those two all along? No, that can't be. They had to have been after either me or Yoru. Something changed the night Pacifica's house burned down. But I don't know what, and that frustrates me. But it's not like being frustrated about it will help me figure it out. How long should I keep Yoru locked up in that room? I walk a lap around, and then another lap for good measure. Looks like I'm coming home empty-handed again today. I see a black luxury car parked out beyond the garbage dump gate. The rear seat window slowly opens. Sayoko! Good evening. It sure is cold. Come on in before you freeze. Oh, thanks. Good evening to you too, Miss Met. How did it go today? I shake my head. I see. How's your roommate? Things are a little awkward since I said something mean. While I'm out here walking freely, Yoru's unable to work because of me. Unlike me, she's unable to defend herself, so she can't walk outside alone. She has enough money for the time being, but it won't last her forever. There's a lot of tension over various things right now, which is why we haven't talked much recently. I told this to Renja earlier, and it looks like she remembers. I see. Things must be tough for you too. There have been several difficulties. Renja, and of course Miss Met, have been picking me up by car here once every few days lately. I touch the luxurious leather seat with the palm of my hand. Leather. A dead good. The dead good, maybe. Sorry for making you drive all the time, Miss Met. You can drive next time, then. Just a joke. Your jokes are boring. You'd be better off just not telling them. Renja snaps at Miss Met with a spine-chillingly cold voice and like the playful, loving banter that Pacifica uses when rebuking Anya. I'm sorry. What do you want? To get in the way of my fun? To be a part of the conversation? No, ma'am. Right. That should be obvious. My apologies. Don't do it again. Renja turns to me and says, sorry about that. Her voice is so warm. It's confusing me. It's ominous, even. What exactly is the relationship between Renja and Miss Met? Seems like a completely anachronistic master and servant relationship. I just can't see what's binding these two together. That said, Yoru and I might seem like that too, but at the very least the two of us are friends who are close in age. So are these two friends? It certainly doesn't look like it. I'm tired, Sayoko. I work so hard. Renja plops down onto my lap from beside me. As I stare at her in confusion, she responds with a wink and a bashful giggle. Renja's sudden behavioral shift sends shivers down my spine. It's ghastly, dreadful, and yet endlessly charming. My eyes twitch, my head spins. I think something like this has happened before. Not that I have any intention of trying to remember right now. Oops. How do we rewind? A. Okay, that's right. Oops. Not fast forward. Oops. Too many buttons. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. I'm quite used to being called unreasonable, but I had to yell today. Give me a second, Ninetale. Mwah. There you go. Thank you for the smooch redeemed, dear. Winter must be scary when she yells. I hope I never have to see her yell. At work? Yeah, we were on our way back from work today. I figured you'd blow all my frustration away once I saw you, Sayoko. I'm not that good. We don't know our own worth, Sayoko. We can only deal with the worth given to us by others. I can feel Renja's fingers unbuttoning my coat. She slides her chilly hand underneath my inner sweater and slides her fingers on top of my underwear. What the heck? Renja? I want to become bigger and stronger. I've been holding myself back for so long. I've been trying to get myself free. I've been trying so hard, you know? That tickles. You want me to stop? No. I don't want to do as I'm told. Renja removes my underwear and traces her fingers against my side. Her cold skin makes me shiver. Why would I want to listen to people who don't listen to me? Renja pinches my side hard. Ow! Stop that. No, not until you do as I say. Renja peers into my eyes. There's a discerning glint in her eyes that seems to peer into the depths of my thoughts. And beyond the glint burns the flames of hatred. At least that's the impression I get. What do you want me to do? I want you to accept what I'm about to tell you. I don't know if I can until I hear it. I want to give you a place where you belong, and that place is by my side. I do have a place where I belong, you know? Well, I normally wouldn't say that. That's at least what I think. I don't know why I can't say it. Seems like such an important thing. This girl's dangerous. But I knew that from the very beginning, didn't I? The whirring wind outside the window sounds so much louder. Neither of us say a word. But for completely different reasons. Renja's silent because she's confident she's got the upper hand. And I'm the exact opposite. Do you know how long I've been holding myself back? Don't you feel like it's time for something to change? I should probably decline. My sense of reasoning barely manages to hold out. But I have to ask Yoru. I don't think that she's so important. Makes you wonder why the priest is so worked up about her. I don't get what you're saying. I know you do. Ow! She tightens her grip on my side. All I can do is wince and try to endure it. Must everyone belittle me? Even you? No, that's not it. I snap back to reality when I hear Miss Matt clear her throat. Someone's banging on the window. It would seem they have business with us. Just do the usual. You love doing things by the book, don't you? What's wrong? Makes you think there's some sort of exception this time? If you want to interrupt me, just say so. But it's someone from the church. The church? Renja gasps and looks up. Sure enough, it would seem someone from the church is indeed on the other side of the rear seat window behind me. I've got a bad feeling about this. I twist my neck a little past the comfort zone. Ugh. It's Clara! Do you know her, Sayoko? If so, I have doubts about who you choose to associate with. No, I swear to God. Very well. Keep driving. I've had enough of this discussion. The car resumes driving without a sound. I wonder where we're going. The entire world is empty, save for the sound of the tires pushing through the snow. As I shrink back in my seat, I feel like I have no right to autonomy whatsoever. You can take your time to think. We've got all the time in the world, don't we, Sayoko? Renja's right. We do have all the time in the world. Are you asking if I'd like to work at your sweets shop? Renja has an advantage here. She's confident that I'll cave in eventually. Sure I am, Sayoko. Why don't we work together? I look long and hard at Renja's perfect smile. The car stops. Outside the window is a familiar sight. Apparently we're driving back to the apartments. Renja motions for me to go ahead and get out of the car. Is it okay if I give it some thought? Of course. If you ever feel up to it, just tell me, okay? I'll ask you again myself, though, obviously. Okay. See you later, then. As soon as I take my first step outside, I hear a voice again. Wait. I know the answers to everything. Rather, maybe 80% of what you want to know. Perhaps you'll learn everything I know if you become mine. Oof. The sudden sound of the car taking off makes me stagger and do an odd little tap dance. The ground might be a little muddy, but it's nowhere near that unstable. It must just be my own dizzy senses. I felt this sensation before. Why am I doomed to remember the discomfort and anxiety that I felt when the weird old man said those weird old things? The sensation is telling. It's telling me that the secrets Renja's referring to are the same ones that the old man did. I feel hesitant. It's so frustrating to be tempted with bait like this. But I don't think I can help it. After all, this whole time, I was able to convince myself that the old man was just spouting crazy nonsense. But Renja's one of the wisest, most rational people I know. If it's coming from her, I don't think I can write it off as a simple delusion. Another thing of concern is that the majority of ghosts aren't interested in these secrets. But why not? It's hard to understand why you wouldn't be interested in knowing why you're here. Unless, that is, they all already know. Does everyone know these things? Am I the only one left in the dark? I go back to my room, hesitating if I should talk to Yoro about all this. Turns out there's no need for me to hesitate. I can't talk to her even if I wanted to. The room's a mess, and Yoro's gone. Uh-oh. Sorry, I have my cursor on the screen. That's not good. My eyes start spinning. My rough breathing grows so hot and out of control I strip off my sweater. I pull out hairs, but there's nothing I can do to cool me down. I let out something between a grunt and a scream, praying that this is all just a bad dream as I turn the room inside out in a faint hope that Yoro's hiding somewhere. Now that I think about it, we never got that door replaced. Sure, I'm at least partially at fault for leaving this room by myself for so long despite the situation. But we haven't even done anything recently. I've lost both Pacifica and Anya, so I thought the situation was at a stalemate. I thought there was nothing more that they could take from me. Pacifica and Anya haven't come back. Will Yoro not come back either? When will that happen to me? Then will that... There's a cabinet toppled on the floor. Yes, the one Yoro was given. Damn it. One of those drawers has been yanked out and its contents scattered on the ground. There's the bag of sweets I got from Renja. Unlike the simple sweets Mr. Patel sells at his cafe, these sweets are a very cute assortment that grows the door. I tear open the packaging and toss one of the sweets into my mouth at random. I guess it's a macaron. I remember what Renja said once. Eat sweets when you're tired. Renja sweets are a little special. When you eat them, they make you happy. Your body feels warm and relaxed. Maybe there's a little bit of alcohol in them. And they're exactly what I need right now. Next up is some sort of rolled cream cake. The one after that is undoubtedly chocolate. I just devour the sweets one after another, as if to drown out the sadness and despair. Blech. A piece of caramelized almond gets caught in my throat. I try to get a drink of water, but I can't. Uh-oh. Huh? Oof. I collapse limply onto the floor. My body's so powerless I can't even react to the coldness of the floor touching my face. I just aimlessly roll around. It's like my brain is turned into clay. Everything buried deep within my chest just disappears. Even my heart. In any case, I'm just blankly staring at my empty self. And it feels so comforting. How nice. It's good to relax. Very good. Don't think of it as not being able to think. Think of it as not needing to think. It's so much more pleasant to think about not thinking like that. I cackle. I can't open my mouth, but I cackle. I'm enjoying myself so much. I'm gonna cry from pleasant sadness. That's kind of strange, but it's sadly pleasant. Sweets are amazing, huh? They make you feel so happy. If only someone could be happy. If only everyone could be happy. Happy forever. If only we could just all give up on everything. Is there any point in ghosts fussing over anything? Strange. Everything fades into darkness. We choked. Miss Ninja! Miss Ninja! Yoru! Huh? I jump up as if a switch had just been flipped. And right before me is Clara. Oh, it's just you. I feel like I was dealt the worst card out of a deck made only by bad cards. Made of only bad cards. I even consider just going back to sleep. Leave. The sweets had cast a temporary shadow over all my problems, but now it feels like their magic has faded away. My consciousness is clear. The mad frustration that took over me is coming back. My palms are suddenly sweaty. In the span of 1 second, I curse myself 9,999 times. I ask myself what I think I'm doing. I answer myself, how should I know, dumbass? I cry to myself. And I cry to myself 9,999 times. As she watches me, a confused yet confident Clara points her index finger at me. The nerve of her. Eep! So I break that finger. Can you blame me? I said leave, don't you get it? Clara flinches at my threatening shout. She even takes a step backwards. But then she stops. Frustratingly, her eyes are shining with a sense of duty. It doesn't hurt as bad as getting shot, so I'm fine. My finger will heal. Just tell me why you're hanging out with the sweet seller. I'm just friends with her now, that's all. Hanging out with the sweet seller is like admitting that you're a bad person, you know. What's so bad about her? I mean, she's a sweet seller, you know. There can't be anything good about her. What's wrong with making sweets? What, does the god of your church prohibit cookies or something? Cookies and bad drugs are two completely different things. Aw. Wait, I feel like you just did something weird. You're the weird one? Ow, it really hurts. By sweet seller, do you mean... You do mean Renja, right? Yes, her. She's both known. She's kind of a bigwig with lots of subordinates. A sweet seller is someone who makes sweets and sells them for a profit, right? Yeah, but people who sell bad drugs are also called sweet sellers, aren't they? Wait, I didn't know that. People use sweets to refer to bad drugs, don't they? Using kid-friendly words as a stand-in for something else? Oh, what's that called again? I didn't know that. Did you take her at face value when she said she was a sweet seller? Yeah. Don't laugh. You want me to break another finger? I just didn't know you had such a cute childish side to you, Miss Ninja. How can you expect a foreigner to know such local euphemisms? Teehee, I can kind of relate. Clara's finger is starting to swell and turn an odd color, but she keeps laughing anyway. Thanks to that, I'm able to process some of my thoughts. So is Ranger like the sweet seller boss of this town or something? Yes. Oh, but I don't mean she bakes the most cookies in the town or anything, okay? Teehee. Damn it. I recall the time I raided the church. I was able to bribe the guard with candy. He was looking forward to enjoying them. The reason it worked was because I somehow instinctively knew that sweets have spread throughout the town, even among people who guard the church. I probably knew about it before I lost my memory. The sweet sellers and the church share some common ground, but they've kept even a devout follower like Clara in the dark about it. I suddenly smell something suspicious here. Looks like I'll have to pay Renja a visit. I'm going to take a nap. I think you should clean up the room first. Clean it up for me. Just don't touch anything under the bed. You can have some of my saved up sweets when you're done. I tossed myself into bed without waiting for Clara to respond. I quickly slip into genuine, full-blown sleep. That's terrible. Even Yoru? Renja looks deeply concerned. Looks. Taking a nap was the right choice. I'm calm enough to hide my impatience and irritation. I heard everything. Everything about what exactly? Everything about your work. You have a real interesting job, Renja. Hehe. I guess the cat's out of the bag. Yes, I'm more of a bad girl than my appearance suggests. Renja speaks with a smile as if nothing has changed. It's almost chillingly eerie how normal she's acting. But it's not enough to break me. I'm no saint. I'm in no position to lecture anyone on their life choices, but I cannot support yours, so... You're saying you can't work with me, is that correct? Sorry. I made sure not to let you see them, but I have many subordinates. I'm sure... I'm sure they can help you find your roommate. So you won't let us help you? No thanks. I'll search for Yoru myself. Is it because I'm a bad girl? I can't say that has nothing to do with it. There are two types of ghosts in this town. The first are honestly trash. They can't question any abnormalities this town has, and obviously, I don't mean it's against their philosophy or religion. I mean they're genuinely unable to notice that anything's abnormal. You could explain it to them, but they wouldn't really understand. To them, they would just be empty words. The other type are ghosts who recognize the chaotic state this town is in. Those who know exactly what this town is. For ages, every ghost has been either one or the other, but you're special, Sayoko. You notice the town's abnormalities, yet you know nothing. Instead, you compensate your lack of knowledge with an excess of power. You're incomplete, but that's what's fascinating about you. Gee, thanks. I want to make you complete, and together, we need to dethrone the authority of the priest and his church. And to do it properly, we need to turn this humiliating situation on its head. He shouldn't have all the power. The two of us should. And to achieve this goal, I need peace of mind. That you won't ever betray me. You're not going to try and persuade me now, are you? If you're not with me, then you might as well just say you don't want to know the truth, for all eternity. In either case, just promise me you won't get in the way of my work. So, what'll that be? Astonishingly, I hesitate. I should be refusing her offer without a second thought. But I can't just bring myself to say, I don't need to know. I've always been an outsider. I've been left in the dark as to why the priest that detained Yoru in the church or why Pacifica and Nanya are gone. And it's because of my complete ignorance. The bigger example of what the ignorance is the whole sweet seller business. If only I had the proper knowledge, I could recognize so many more things by myself. My greed for knowledge has dulled my judgment. I realize I've broken into a cold sweat. My eyes are wandering around pathetically. It's like I'm searching for something to help me out of this mess. My eyes stop on something, and that something is, in some sense, the answer I've been looking for. Liar. I only catch sight of that something by complete coincidence. There's a dresser in the corner of Fringe's room, and on that dresser's a familiar tube of lipstick. Or rather, the lipstick-shaped ultra-small gun straight out of a spy movie that Pacifica ordered from Anya. A super cool weapon for the super cool Pacifica. Even Yoro was ecstatic when she saw it in action. If I'm not mistaken, Anya was in the process of mass-producing them. If Renja has one, then who exactly is she? Come to think of it, one of the assassins who broke into my room also had a gun that was identical to the one in Pacifica's possession. I don't want to think any further than that, but my brain calmly connects the dots on its own, forming a disturbing outline. Oh, what's wrong? That lipstick over there. You're interested in makeup? We have more pressing things to talk about than makeup, don't we, Sayoko? Renja looks at me incredulously, as if she has no idea why I would bring up the lipstick right now. She's playing dumb. If I had come here without getting a wink of sleep first, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to do anything about it or even notice it. Her acting looks quite natural. That's right. Her acting looks quite natural indeed. Mind if I take a closer look at it? Be my guest. I pick up the lipstick with slow, wide movements. It's unused. The seal is still intact. I see. So the one Pacifica used back then was a prototype. Huh. Perhaps this is a production unit from the first manufactured lot. Mind if I try using this lipstick? You sure can be stubborn sometimes. Fine. Keep wasting time then. I'm moderately surprised. It seems Renja doesn't know what this thing actually is. If she did, she wouldn't be keeping up this farce. Even if she were playing dumb, she gains nothing by allowing me to pick this thing up. Is she confident that if I suddenly shot her with this thing, I'd miss? Is she confident that even if I did hit her, she'd be fine? No, wait. What if I'm just a big idiot and this thing isn't a lipstick-shaped gun, but just plain old lipstick? Suddenly, a short and sweet thought, sweeter than any sweet sold by a sweet seller, flashes in the back of my head. It's so short and sweet and stupid, it makes me smile to myself. Renja lets out a displeased humph. I decide to take a gamble on that thought. I think I'm starting to get it. There's a fundamental flaw in my deduction. This isn't proof that Pacifica's colluding with her. In fact, I dare say this proof is that it's proof that there's no collusion at all. This lipstick was taken from Pacifica, maybe even stolen. If someone's holding her captive, it wouldn't be a surprise if they also stole a cosmetic bag from her too. Are you that interested in the lipstick? I received it from one of my subordinates, as a small present, I suppose. I'm a good boss, aren't I? I look into Renja's eyes. She seems to be confused. I can tell she's losing a little confidence in her discernment. Like, why is this girl so obsessed with that lipstick? Did I miss something? Are you that interested in some run-of-the-mill lipstick? Sitting before me is no longer the mysterious, delicate, beautiful girl I once knew. Just one measly ghost who can't even stand up. I open the seal on the lipstick. I see. So you move the bottom part like this and... Renja, the way you try to make friends is incredibly flawed. The recoil's heavier than I expected. I was aiming for her right arm, but I hit her left leg. So much for accuracy. I guess you shouldn't expect much from a gun that's designed for form over function. If you want me to be your friend, just say so. You don't have to erase all my existing friends. But in any case, it's exactly what I need right now. Give me back my friends. No. Oh, suddenly my vision shakes. Something hit me in the back of the head. The concussion lasts only a few seconds, but it looks like that's all they needed. I feel an intense discomfort at the nape of my neck. The pain only comes a second later. I reflexively reach back, something stabbing me. Something with a characteristic shape, identifiable by a touch alone. A syringe. Ugh. Damn it. I walked right into that one. Cursed my lack of precaution as I instinctively pull out the syringe. When it tumbles to the floor, I notice it's several times bigger than the ones they use for vaccines or for drawing blood. It sends shivers down my spine. As far as I can tell, the cylinder is still about a third full, so it's not like it's been injected inside me. So it's not like all of it's been injected inside me. Not that that's any consolation, mind you. That's our flagship product. Its sweet flavor makes it popular with girls. It's also popular with boys since it can be subtly mixed into food and drink. A shock runs through the back of my eyeballs down my hip bone. Or rather than impact, it's more of a sudden loss of strength. They say the closing years of the Great War were a tragic time, you see. No matter how hard I try to brace my legs, my vision sways and sinks. Whoa. As a result, that painkiller saw heavy usage during that period. It was already an old drug at the time, and there are several conflicting theories as to why it made such a resurgence. Perhaps it was because its use and side effects were well known, or perhaps it was due to collusion between pharmaceutical companies. Who knows what the truth is? I thought my legs were supporting my body weight, but before I know it, I'm on my knees. In any case, it's a potent drug. At low doses, it acts as a sedative, granting soldiers relaxation and sleep. At high doses, it acts as a tranquilizer to neutralize neurotic soldiers. Before I know it, my upper body has collapsed, and I'm down to my hands and knees. Well, it wasn't the full amount, but that should do it. Uh-oh. Regardless, I'm able to maintain my vision, so I keep watching. Isn't that right, Met? Yes, ma'am. In her hands is a familiar silver object. Anya told me all about it. It's a soldier control device used in the closing years of the Great War. Normally, you should have been in a comatose state long ago, but you shrugged it off. You've consumed enough quantities over a long enough period of time to have grown a physical dependence, and that you've shown absolutely no signs of addiction. Are ninjas just resistant to poison? What are you gonna do to me? This. Oh no! Oh. Miss Met runs a scalpel across my wrist, at the softest spot, a little bit above the base. Instead of pain, I feel fear, and by then the blood's already flowing. Miss Met seems so skilled at this. She must have done this many times before. I try to shake her off my arm. I shouldn't have done that. It only causes the blood to overflow even more. My body's limp from fear, despair, and helplessness. The lukewarm blood spilling down my wrist doesn't even feel like it's my own blood. Miss Met plops the silver pillbug into the incision. The pillbug makes a whirring startup noise as it tries to crawl inside. It stings. If this is a dream, I'd wish I'd wake up. And yet I can't peel my eyes away from the nightmare. It'll take some time for it to reach your spine, so let's have a nice chat while we wait. I see. So once that happens, I'm out, huh? You just want to enjoy watching me suffer until then, Renja? I can feel your sadistic gaze pouring down on me. If the drugs didn't work, then maybe this thing won't work either. I'm not sure if I actually said that. I can't clearly feel my lips. It's as if the whole world is behind frosted glass. But at least I can think clearly on my side of the frosted glass. According to what Renja's saying, my body seems to eliminate drugs faster than normal. With a little bit of time, maybe I can regain free use of my body. But that little bit of time is the problem. The pillbug isn't moving very fast, but my arm isn't very long either. Perhaps. Sounds like an experiment worth... What's this? I don't hear what she says after that. Or rather, I hear it, but only as disjointed sounds. I'm only able to catch the nuance. The way you make friends is flawed. That's none of your business. Why make friends with someone who already has friends? That's like setting yourself up for number 2 at best and racing to the bottom. No thanks. I'm nobody's number 2 and I don't want to be below anybody else. My ears are ringing, like what happens after you've heard a loud sound. Like a bomb went off next door. Something squirming on the other side of the frosted glass. My consciousness sticks its face up against the glass to try and see what's going on out there. But that's just a metaphor. My consciousness doesn't have a face or eyes. All it can do is feel. I push those feelings out of my mouth in the form of words. It's true that there were rumors about you, but in reality you were into boys. You were 13. It's winter. It's winter. It was speaking with your dad, acting friendly. Needed to get some more medicine for mom. All you could do was watch. What are you trying to get at? I'm only tracing out the silhouettes behind the frosted glass. Honestly, I don't know what any of this means. I keep talking, as if to feel things out with the tip of my finger. Your dad was always so apologetic to you, because he thought it was his fault that your legs turned out that way, and that you didn't have a mother anymore. It was an uncomfortable way to comfort you. Everyone respected your personality. That's why you never bothered to learn about equal relationships. At least that's what you thought. Didn't you, you coward? What's wrong with using the weapons you've been given? I'm not myself. I wouldn't say things like this. Your first prey was the kind, chubby, older who wore thick glasses. You knew you had good looks, but you were afraid to use it to sway the opposite sex since you didn't know much about them. So you disguised yourself with a made-up character. How could I do something like this? How could I expose someone's weakness, criticize them for it, and make sure that they can't return to the status quo? No, I'm not that weak. Yes, you are. You don't know me. I am you. We both are. I hear Renja raise her voice in anger. And yet I think I'm smiling, even though it's not funny at all. I have to stop already, but I can't take my eyes off the faint silhouettes. I can't stop tracing them with my mind's finger. The sights I see are so cruel, they make me shudder, which is why I can't peel my eyes away. A garage floor, a shred of glass piercing the hand, the helplessness of being unable to stand up. Met! The encroaching red flames, despair. Met, shut this girl up! I snap back to my sense when I hear that voice, as well as a short, high-pitched electronic sound, like that of a cell phone ringtone. I tried to remember what I saw, but like hand sanitizer just gives me a tingly feeling before slipping through my fingers and evaporating into thin air. It's me. What? Renja's in chaotic disarray. The fact that I can tell that means that I must have recovered a little. I chuckled to myself. I'm starting to feel my lips again. Small signs I'm recovering. It's just funny to think that I got directly injected with tranquilizers and shrugged it off this easily. It's like I'm superhuman. Super ghost, I mean. There's a bit of trouble at the factory. I'll go there directly. Take care of things here, Met. Make no mistakes. Yes, ma'am. Promise me. I swear my afterlife on it. If we had known things would turn out like this, you should have implanted the device closer to the spine. If you did, then I'd be going to work with my new friend Sayuko by now. You will tomorrow, for sure. Renja smiles for a moment. I don't know if she's regained her composure or if she's just bluffing. Either way, I'm impressed. See? You can say something good every now and then. Once you're done here, you two come see me together. Miss Met opens the door for Renja to leave, and as Miss Met does so, she exposes her back. I need to find a way to get away from her as soon as possible, and find a way to remove this bug. How much time do I have left? It can't be much. Somehow I managed to lift up my upper body. I can move better than I expected, but not as much as I need to. I pick the cosmetic bottle off the dresser and hurl at Miss Met with all my might as she turns around at the sound. Miss Met doesn't flinch. She just calmly turns towards me as if it were a roll of toilet paper I threw at her instead of a glass bottle. I need to get up and get out of here. It's at this moment I realize how numb my feet are. It's like I've been sitting on them for hours upon hours. My legs can barely even support my body. If you really care about that girl, you shouldn't keep humoring her like this. You really believe I have any alternative? Miss Met tackles me when I can't even stand. There's nothing I can do to fight back, especially considering the overwhelming difference in physique. After all the effort I took to get back up, my body ends up back on the floor. There's nothing wrong with dedicating my body and soul to serve her. I would gladly die for her if she simply gave me the word. Most people would never experience such devoted loyalty. Miss Met straddles me, takes out a gun and points it at me. I'm confused for a second. Speaking as someone who's been shot to death before, the flow of time certainly seems to slow down the moment you're shot. So in other words, this can't actually be taking that much time. In this eternal fleeting moment, I see Miss Met's eyes from behind her long bangs. She's crying. Miss Met drops the gun, only to strangle me with her now open hands. I try to shake her hands off of my neck, but I'm unable to even grab her thick arms. I guess it's because of our weight difference. I've been trying my best to ignore it, but the foreign object in my arm is literally crawling under my skin. It feels like the bug is slammed into my shoulder bone and is trying to make a slow detour. Now that I feel it, it's driving me crazy. I need to do something to distract myself. After all this thinking, I realize something. If Miss Met were seriously trying to strangle me, it wouldn't be like this. I could feel some hesitation in her hands. That's it, she's still strangling me, but vision's gradually fading. If I lose consciousness now, I'm sure it'll be a new me by the time I wake up. Right, the gun. The gun Miss Met dropped. I stopped trying to grab her arm, and instead feel around for the gun, which should have landed somewhere near my side. Obviously, Miss Met notices and tries to take one hand off my neck so she can keep the gun away from me. It's easier for me to breathe now, but that doesn't change the situation. If she tosses the gun out of my reach, it's the end of the line for me. There must be a bug implanted in Miss Met too. That much is certain from the way she speaks. Oh right, what did Anya say that one time again? I take in a deep breath while the pressure in my neck is loosened. Well, you tell someone to do something and they must do it. Tell them don't, and they must not do it. You lay down the rules. I'll be quiet. I won't speak anymore. Miss Met's grip suddenly weakens. Range's last command was shut this girl up. I announced my silence, thereby fulfilling that command. In other words, at this moment, she's lost her reason to manhandle me. After checking to see if I can move my pinned lower body, I quickly pull out a leg and kick Miss Met in the gut as hard as I can. Great! I can move my body now! Miss Met falls backwards with the gun in her hand, and it's pointed at me. Unlike a robot or cyborg, these soldiers can think about various aspects of their missions, and can thus violate parts of their orders as long as they uphold the order overall. And that's what Anya said. Living brains have leeway in their decision-making ability. And if you think about it logically, what Ranger really wants isn't for me to shut up, but to be incapacitated non-lethally. If I die, my body will turn to the garbage dump. But what happens to the bug? I don't know. In any case, Miss Met's pointing the gun at me, which means it's of no concern to her that if her attack kills me. I'm confident I moved faster than the wind. I grabbed the round barrel of the automatic pistol. I can clearly see Miss Met reflexively pull the trigger. I'm out of time, but that's perfect. I pushed the barrel of the gun pointed at me into my shoulder. Sparks fly in the back of my eyes, the back of my head, and of course my shoulder. Perhaps my whole body is turned into sparks. The taste of the tip of my tongue has got to be the taste of a bullet impact. Damn you! I try to hide the pain with a yell as I drive my still perfectly good left fist into Miss Met's jaw. I feel my fist land perfectly. No matter how tough you are, I doubt you can keep fighting properly after a direct jolt to the brain. But this is only the beginning. I'm not done yet. I yank up the neck of my sweater and bite down hard on it. I thrust my finger into the fresh gunshot wound in my shoulder. The indescribable pain is so intense it sends sparks flying in my eyes. I can't believe I have to gouge out this wound. I wouldn't want other people to hear the groans I'm making. Just a bit more. My fingers touch something hard. It's not bone. It's metal. Get! I can hear the sound of muscle fibers tearing as I pry the bug's legs off my flesh. Rat! Okay, that's the end of that. I hold the silver lump on the palm of my left hand. It stops moving as if to say, "Now's not the time for work." Perhaps it's detected that it's been exposed to the air. I let out a laugh, and then I let out tears. But then I tell myself now isn't the time for either of those things, as I refocus my attention. Miss Metz sprawled out on the floor beneath me. I pick the gun up off the floor. I need to incapacitate her. I suppose I should shoot out both of her legs. No, wait. I need to free her from the bug. If I pump her head full of lead, she'll wake up in the garbage dump as her true self, won't she? I point the gun at Miss Metz's head. It pains my conscience to do it, so I hesitate a little. Stop! So you're awake. Even if you shoot me, I'll still return to her from the garbage dump on my own 2 feet, so there's no point. Miss Metz speaks nonchalantly. There's no aggression whatsoever in her voice. In fact, she even sounds somehow relieved. Doesn't look like Orange actually cares about you, to me. What matters is who you care about, not who cares about you. That's what matters to me, at least. Even if she continues to look down on you, I find it acceptable. She must be saying that because she's been brainwashed. That has to be the case. Please be the case. But if you had the choice, wouldn't you want to stop doing this? Unfortunately, reality seems to betray my expectations most of the time. I would, but my desire to be by her side is more important. Serving her is what makes me happy. And this time is no exception. What makes you think that way? I don't understand why you believe in her so much. I had an epiphany one day. I realized this is what I wanted. If I had to put into words, I thought, she's beautiful. No objection to that point, correct? You're right about that. Good. We have a near infinite amount of time on our hands. I want to spend that time watching over beauty, and I found a way to guarantee it. A way to be needed. And it will last for all eternity. I'm an atheist, personally, but there's more than one way to get eternal bliss. If you'd rather stop doing this, then can you really say it makes you happy? It's a luxury to live in a situation that's ideal in all aspects, so it's complicated. Complicated? I'm not good with complicated topics. They tire me. I don't understand what you're saying. I want a simple life. I can't suffer for an eternity, like you. So I have no regrets making some sacrifices. Even if it means making others unhappy? Are you unaware of how comfortable it is to live a simple, earnest life, pouring out love to someone without hesitation? If all you want to do is pour out love for someone, then you'll tire yourself out one day for sure, especially when that someone abuses you. But I've lived like this for all eternity. Pouring out love is my happiness. It's so fulfilling. I find it way more valuable to love than to be loved. She doesn't know what it means to love someone. It's only ever been love. She's only ever been loved, even though she's so beautiful, so perfect. Her greed gives her the desire to be loved, using any means necessary. That's all she lives for. It's so tragic, it's lovely. I find myself unpleasant. I know my mind is warped and repulsive, but I want to keep doing what I'm doing as long as I can. I don't understand you. But I might be jealous. To have someone precious enough to you that you'd sacrifice your own existence. It must feel like arriving at a terminal station. The end of a long journey. Happy ending. When I think about it like that, I guess I can kind of understand. I'm glad it turned out like this. Miss Met lets out a sigh. I felt threatened. No, scared of you. She wanted you to replace me as her right-hand woman. If she were successful, I would lose my place by her side. I can't spend my eternity as a factory guard like the others. That's the opposite of what I want. The factory? Oh right, the factory. Tell me where it is. I need to hurry. You plan on going with your body in a shape like that? That said, I can't tell you. I've been ordered not to. More importantly. More importantly what? I know I've said this already, but please don't kill me. I don't want to lose what she's given me. At the very least, I know that this is what I truly desire. Miss Met says that with a smile that's too dazzling for me to see it for me since it's brimming with confidence in her conviction. It's such a beautiful smile. For just a moment, she's just as beautiful as Renja. Has Renja ever seen this smile? I'm going. I shoot Miss Met in the right leg. This way, at the very least, she probably won't be chasing after me anymore. Since I shot with my left hand, the recoil feels stronger than I expected, causing me to stumble a few steps. I try to think of what exactly I can do with only one arm as I rush out of Renja's luxurious room to chase after her. Talk about a neighborhood dispute. As I go down the stairs, I touch the bug in my pocket. This thing was a curse for me, but a blessing for Miss Met. It's her bond with Renja. Maybe I could approach Renja pretending to be brainwashed. But then again, since there's a main control unit somewhere, it wouldn't surprise me if there were some sort of indicator showing which receivers are working. Which means I'd be found out instantly. I'd feel so stupid. Clara's still in my room. When she sees my bloody left hand, she lets out a sickening cute shriek. Eep! Like that. When she asks what happened, I consider smacking her, but I manage to hold back the impulse. Instead, I grab her by the shoulder and tell her this. It's a good thing we're friends, huh? It sure is, we're precious friends. In my country, there's a cultural tidbit we call a Yakuza Kachikomi. Wow, that sounds so lovely. Yes, it is lovely. So what do you say to say the two of us do a little Yakuza Kachikomi right now? By the way, have you ever shot a pistol? I know you've been shot by one. Suddenly I've got a bad feeling about this. I know, but I want your help. Please. I'll help as long as I don't have to hurt anyone. Okay, then. I suddenly get curious about what time it is, so I rip the duct-taped curtain off the wall. There's a thin line of white starting to form on the sky already. We probably have about an hour left of live time. I set my sights on our goal. I can't help but laugh when I see something unusual in the usual view outside my window. Or to be more accurate, there's something unfamiliar inside of something familiar. What's so funny? I tell the confused Clara, it's nothing, as I pick up the rope that Yoro bought but never used. Huh? What? I tie up Clara's slender body. As you might expect, Clara's got a few questions. Please explain, what exactly are you planning to do? Just trust me. I look out the window again. There's that electric bulletin board that was set there way back when the three of us got together again. But there's a new message scrolled across it. It was rendered the sweet cellar. Pacifica and I are trapped in the factory basement. Please help. Smiley face. Can you expect me not to laugh at that? I promise that I'll exceed your expectations. And it's time for another rescue mission. Throughout this whole ordeal, I've been unsure if I could truly trust the people I thought to be my friends. I thought trusting people meant having a peace of mind. I thought choosing to distrust people meant closing my heart to them. But that's too naive. That's such a self-centered way of thinking. My friends are wonderful, lovable, and also dangerous. If they knew I were applying such a naive thought process on them, I'm sure they'd make fun of me. First, there's Pacifica, who earned herself fame and power in this town all by herself. Then there's Anya, who's got the courage and the skills to send a unique SOS signal even when captured by the enemy. And they're both such excellent, reassuring people. It'd be rude for someone like me to even have to consider whether or not to trust them. Those two constantly exceed my expectations using everything they've got. They always have. Now that I think about it, I may have exceeded their expectations as well. That's the definitive thing that ties us together. The fact that we give each other everything we've got. The bickering, the conflicts of interest, the deductions that made my trust in them falter, all a bunch of poop. I casually sling an assault rifle under my shoulder and suddenly notice something. The nasty wound is already healed considerably. It's almost as if it was never there. Ghosts can't keep many things, and I've got a particularly strict limit in that regard. I know that from experience. Perhaps fatal wounds count towards the limit, and all of the guns I keep under the bed have bumped it up past the threshold. It'd be really convenient if that were the case. But is it true? Well, I can think about it later. Clara, do you know where the factory is? Just the general direction, at least. Oops, I forgot I gagged her. I moved the gag and apologized to Clara for getting carried away as I chuckled to myself. Clara knows that the factory's a big place, but it seems she doesn't know any specifics like which street it's on, or if the walls are green or yellow or whatever. Well, we're just gonna find it with our guts. Guts and lots of running. There will probably be a guard on watch, which will actually help us because it'll give it away their position. That's where Clara comes in. Renja has a cooperative relationship with the priest, and therefore the church in general. A devout follower of the church like Clara should be useful for bargaining material, even if it's just a bluff. An underling stuck on guard duty is unlikely to hold such influence. I should be able to at least buy some time with some smooth talking. It's a crude plan. The voice of reason says I should really plan out more of the details. I ignore that voice and cross through the apartment courtyard, when suddenly... I quickly close my eyes, but it's too late. What? The intense light scorches my eyes and leaves me unable to move for a moment. Well, I guess someone's got even cruder plan than mine. I let out a dry chuckle. Is that the way to the factory? Yes, that's right. Was that? You see that? Evan really does exceed my expectations. And I mean that in the best way possible. My vision gradually clears up, thanks to all the dust particles gathered around the center of town. It looks like the entire town's in the middle of a sandstorm. By the time I realize that the dust cloud must mark the epicenter of the explosion, out from the ashes comes the silhouette of an approaching car. It's twice the size of a standard passenger vehicle. Its simple exterior resembles that of a business-class station wagon. As it approaches, its details become more distinct. The most important detail being who's in it. The moment I recognize who's in the driver's seat, I feel a joy so intense, I don't even have the words to properly describe it. Anya! I wave my hands as hard as I can. It seems like Anya's looking at me, but she won't wave back. Is she mad I didn't come save her? The station wagon stops in front of me. Sayoko! Pacifica! I embrace Pacifica as she stumbles out of the car. The warmth makes me so happy I cry a little. I'm sorry, Sayoko. No, don't be sorry. You did nothing wrong. It's all my fault. I knew Renja was bad news from the start. She's on the top of my wiretap list, so I even overhear her every time she orders pizza. Hehe, you never cease to amaze me. I did half the work, though, just saying. You were friends with her, weren't you? That's why I was a little hesitant to intervene until it was a little too late. It's okay. That doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, where's Yoru? Oh, Yoru? Well, she's the one who came up with the brilliant idea to blow up the generator, but how did she know that all that security measures are shut off in case of an emergency? Yeah, she can be a real big mystery sometimes. Well, she's not so big now. She's probably small enough to fit in a shoebox. She didn't make it out in time, huh? I guess that's one way to put it. She sacrificed herself so we could escape. Like at the end of an action movie? Well, we were certainly moved by her actions. I guess we have to go pick her up later on, then. I cackle. It's hard to breathe with all the dust in the air, but I feel like I finally found the place I belong. About that. This isn't over yet. We've only just gotten to the main event. How observant of you. Now that some of the dust is settled, it's not too hard to make out that silhouette. Renja. It seems I've made several mistakes. Renja. This whole incident started because of her. So to the end of this incident. To end this incident, we have to face her again. I see how it is. I'd say your first mistake was messing with us. Kill those two and come to me. If you think you can command me, think again. I already took that thing out. If you want me to do something, then ask properly. So you refuse? I'm sorry we couldn't be friends. Oh, is that so? I agree. You will be sorry. Renja lets out a small sigh as she pushes her small fist against a button in a hidden compartment on the armrest of her futuristic wheelchair. Obviously, I can't help but wonder what that button does. But it can't be anything good, at least. Oh boy. Her wheelchair starts rattling, then it seemingly deconstructs itself into individual cylinders spreading out like a middle tree spreading out of nowhere. The beams then weave into each other and reconstruct themselves into a new sort of lattice structure, lifting Renja up high in her seat. It doesn't take long for that thing to expand to the point that it towers over us. It grows to about 10 times its original size. I can now say with certainty that the button Renja pushed was a transformation button. Wow, it transforms, I dig it. She's faster than we thought. We couldn't shake her off her tail, which is why we have to rely on you, Seiko. You have to do something about her. A silver spider. That's what this weapon looks like. It's silver and it's got many legs surrounding Renja's vantage position seat. The only part of the building that still resembles the original wheelchair. Or else this is the end. I see. So this could be the end, huh? That's not good. Guess I better put in some effort then. I stoop down, pick up some snow by my feet, make a fist-sized snowball. Then I hurl it at Renja's face. Come at me! Are you kidding me? As the spider picks up on its legs, it's maybe twice my height, and then... Eep! It swings a pointed tip down hard immediately behind me, skewing Clara from the crown of her head straight through her lower abdomen. It looks like an obscene object art depicting the way butcher birds impale their prey on thorns. The vivid contrast of the vibrant red blood against the cold silvery steel has me frozen my tracks for a second. Get in! Pacifica yanks me by the collar and drags me into the station wagon. I end up biting my tongue a little due to the whiplash of the car suddenly taking off. So that's what we're up against here. Any ideas? Sorry, nothing's jumping out at me. And even if we don't know what to do, we have to do something. Oh my god. Okay. Pacifica flinks the rear door open, reaches behind the rear seat and picks up what looks like that old painless minigun from those action movies. She proceeds to spray bullets at the spider. Hi, Aster. Hi, dear. Good to see you. Hope you're doing alright. This is so cool! Honestly, her aim's not bad, but it's a wasted effort. Several shorter legs located closer to Renja move in with unbelievable speed and precision to deflect any bullets that threaten their master while ignoring the rest. Anya suddenly swerves to dodge a longer leg that pierces the ground way too close to the car for comfort. I support Pacifica's body when the abrupt turn threats to knock her off balance. Pacifica curses as she loads the next magazine and fires again. The spider seems to slow down as a whole whenever Pacifica fires at it, so I bet she feels obligated to keep shooting, lest the car be turned into shish kebab. I'm glad you're good. Sorry you overheated. That's no good. How's she piloting that thing so well? I shout as hard as I can so that the gunfire doesn't drown me out. There's no way she's driving manual, not with movements like that. There's got to be a camera or sensor or something hooked up to a real-time image processor to detect and neutralize any threats like guns and whatnot. So we're up against a genuine war machine? Like hell it is genuine. Normally you'd expect to have guns and more armor and stuff on. Lucky us. Not lucky enough that we have a chance against it though. So you're saying we just have to shoot it from where the camera can't see us, right? You've got the right idea, and I bet you can make that shot too, but there's no way we can gain enough distance from that thing. Maybe if we hit a gun inside a plush toy. That'd make for a funny joke, but I don't think we've got any plush toys here. Sayoko, let's switch places for a second. Oh, okay. I switch places with Pacific and continue to fire bullets with the machine gun. The rapid clinking of the metal legs as they deflect the bullets nearly drives me insane. We don't have that much ammo left either. Even if we did conserve this as much ammo as possible, it's only a matter of time before it runs out. Get down! The whole interior of the car explodes. At least that's what it seems like for a moment when Pacifica launches a rocket at the spider. These sorts of rockets are quite slow, which gives us plenty of time to pray. I think I hear Renja shouting something. Next thing I hear is the impact. Hey, there's a little thing called Black Blast, you know. Back Blast. I just figured if that thing can deflect bullets, and maybe explosives would do the trick. It's fine though. It wasn't hurt at all, I bet. It's incredibly hard to see thanks to the fumes from the explosion. I can't even see the spider's silhouette. Did it work? My vision starts to spin. At the same time, my whole body feels intense G-forces. A few seconds later, I realize that one of the legs pierced the station wagon and swung it around. My body gets flung onto the snow. I blank out for just a moment before I realize that now isn't the time, so I get up. The spider's legs had gathered in one place to form a simple protective wall in front of Renja. It seems several of the legs have been damaged, exposing the joints. But that's all the damage there is. Our nearly suicidal rocket launcher attack had an effect, but it wasn't enough. Well, I guess it figures that this thing would have all sorts of weapon data stored in its database. Anya speaks as she struggles to crawl out from the driver's seat of the overturned car. I must admit, you caught me a little off guard, but this is the end. Renja speaks calmly, with a sadistic glint in her eyes. I didn't miss the flustered expression she had on her face for a split second, though. Unfortunately, I can't even manage to stand up. The only thing keeping me from being skewered right now is Renja's desire to satiate her sadistic urges. It's like I'm already dead. I mean, I'm always dead, but you get the idea. You beep! I call Renja something you definitely can't say on TV. I can clearly see Renja's calm, collected face distort with rage. I can also see the spider lift up one of its legs. Machine gun fire nearly erupts my eardrum. Pacifica's unloading every last bullet at Renja, slowing the speed of the leg's movements. The attack barely grazes me as I desperately dodge it. I then borrow a warhead from the box that tumbled out of the car. I was easily able to hit Renja in the face with the snowball earlier, despite it being both slower and bigger within a bullet. Which can only mean one thing. Objects thrown by hand don't trigger the spider's defense system. And if that's the case... I don't really want to say something like, that's the power of friendship, because that'd be so cheesy. So I say ironically, as a joke. That's the power of friendship! Friendship's the best! Friendship's the worst! Renja looks like she's become part of the wreckage. Though I guess she's not too far from the truth, since this thing was quite literally like an extension of her body. Sayoko, you're making a mistake. There's also the fact that an exposed shaft or something is stabbing into her back. Associating with the lazy will only make you lazy too. I still think it's our mission to rule. Rather than actually talking to me, it sounds like Renja's trying to convince herself more than anything. The plush toy she's always carried has fallen onto the ground. Contrary to its soft appearances, there's cold, hard mechanical parts jutting out of a tear in the fabric. There's no need to rush anymore, so I slowly pick it up. I see. So this must be the main control unit. Give that back. You seriously think anyone would give it back when you ask like that? I just stare at Renja. We are superior. Unlike you people, we're not fakers appealing to teenage brats who buy cheap knockoffs at brand name sneakers. That sounded so pathetic I had to close my eyes. Do I feel empathy for this girl? I do. I do, don't I? That stuff is meant to be inhaled or injected by VIPs who possess soldiers who would gladly die for them when given the word. It's a glorious, high-purity, genuine article. Only the genuine can understand the feelings of the genuine. One day you'll understand. I'm the you from the future. Someone's here to pick you up. I don't even have to look at who it is. The heavy footsteps and heavy breathing due to the heavy injuries make it quite obvious. I had a feeling she'd be coming. Do a little dancey dance? Matt. Let's go home. Everything will be okay if I do everything I can to treat your injuries. I'm not your master anymore. That doesn't matter to me. What are you talking about? It matters to me. If you're not my slave, you're worthless to me. Your wound certainly is deep, but... What'd you miss? We fought a giant metal spider with RPGs. And a Gatling gun. I lean in next to Renja and examine her wounds. So we left to go save Pacifica and Anya and Yoru. But as we left our apartment, the place where they were being held exploded, and then Pacifica and Anya showed up in a station wagon, and then Renja showed up, and then turned into a giant metal spider, and then we fought her with rocket-propelled grenades. I lean in next to Renja and examine her wounds. I take the bug out of my pocket. The poor thing had failed in its mission to take control of me. Renja's eyes open up wide. She mouths the word stop. On closer inspection, I find that her wound isn't actually bleeding that much, so I set the bug free inside of it. I figure it's closer to the spine than the arm. The sky's starting to turn white, but I figure we'd have enough time to get home if we started walking now. So we've got plenty of time. Of course, yes. Renja, do raise your right hand. Before I even finish speaking, Renja raises her right hand, even though it's caught underneath a jagged metal part, which leaves a big scratch on the back of her hand. I can hear Miss Met gasp. Fine. Go ahead and humiliate me. I don't want to humiliate you. Don't worry. I won't do this again. Let's see. First of all, I command you to... You two, don't die. Miss Met speaks up when she catches on to what I'm trying to do. Wait, no, you shouldn't. Next, do cease all sales of both drugs and sweets. And don't send hooligans to our room. Don't cause harm to me or the people close to me. And also, don't work with the church. This isn't what I want. Tell me how you really feel. It is what I want. But I don't think that's a wish worth granting. It's weird, I know. Maybe she's got a point. But I do think it's a wish worth granting. Renja, don't leave Miss Met's side. Miss Met, do protect Renja at all times. In particular, do prevent any situations that might cause the extraction of these bug things from your bodies. Moving on. And furthermore, do continue to live together in peace for good. In peace for good. I drop the plush onto the ground. I do the best that I can to make sure nobody can ever touch it again for the rest of eternity. This is probably the limit of what I can do. At the very least, I feel refreshed. Let's go home. I talked to my two friends who've been watching over the whole thing. I want to take a bath. I want to eat meat. Sounds good. Let's do both. Please wait! Miss Met drags Renja out of the scrap and carries her on her large back. It looks like Renja is asleep. That or she fainted from the humiliation. Though her face does seem to be peacefully asleep. Miss Met, you just said that this was weird. I think Miss Met is a good person. According to Renja, she's nothing more than a lazy ghost. But she's still virtuous and pure, which is why I wanted to reward her. Though I'm probably just being self-centered and self-satisfying here. Yes, I did say that, and I still think it. After all, everyone is a little bit weird. That's what my doctor told me, and I don't know what she was talking about at the time, but now I agree. Miss Sayoko, the doctor's always giving medical exams in the plaza, and that's where I'll be too. I'll see you again someday. I'll be waiting. My two ghost friends and I feel happy as we walk off briskly. Not because we don't have time, but because we want to be home as soon as possible. We leave the other two ghosts behind. I can't help but pray that one of them will be happy for as long as possible. Oh my goodness. Woo! I was not expecting any of that. Oh my goodness. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Well, we already knew that they were all dead. But yeah, I was not expecting the giant metal spider. I was not. I was not expecting that at all. Or the big explosion. I was expecting like us to go break into the factory and save them. But no, they just blew the place up. And it came to us. Oh, that's okay, Ninetail. That's okay. I hope you got some good cleaning done one summer evening. And so you have no idea. Oh, okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, everybody's a ghost. And when the sun comes up, they fall asleep and disintegrate, and then they come back when the sun sets, I think. One summer evening, when the air is hot enough to make you gradually break out in sweat. It's my first summer in this town. It's got a different sort of heat than the city, but just as I do in the city, I'd make myself as small as possible as I get down from the single car train and head towards the unmanned turnstiles. Did I ever date? Yep, pretty much. She's waiting behind the turnstiles. She's got a small, slender body and a cute face with a small upturned nose. A slight humidity isn't doing her fluffy hair any favors. But even with that in mind, she's still several times more attractive than other girls her age. She notices me. Her face is in a paperback book. But I notice her eyes twitch a little. However, she still proceeds to not have noticed me. I hold my cart against the turnstiles and pass through them. I do so even though I'm just going to go back inside after seeing her, because she'd get mad at me if I didn't. Actually, she wouldn't get mad, just pouty, with a look of displeasure on her face, and tears in her eyes for some reason, and the mood wouldn't improve until I personally apologized for every little thing I've done wrong. You're late. Once I pass through the turnstile, she looks up from her book. I've been waiting for ages. You really expect me to show up immediately when you call me unannounced? That's what I want to say, but instead I just say what I usually do. I'm sorry. No, you're not. I'm sorry for being inconsiderate and making you wait out in the heat even though you're tired from practice. See? Apology accepted. Or, I see. Apology accepted. Try harder next time. The two of us pass back through the turnstiles. That's another day's worth of lunch money wasted for a stupid formality. And money's not the only thing that I've lost today to feed this girl's stupid desire for control. Listen, I worked very hard. At practice today, It's been about half a year since I had to move to this remote rural town due to a parental job transfer. I don't know if it's because of the country climate or my own personality, but my classmates at my new school treat me like an outsider, and nobody's tried to be my friend. She's the only one who's even approached me. She was just as alone, and for that simple reason, we began to spend time together. Her parents are also from the city, so she says she's picked up urban vocabulary and intonation from her parents. Ninetale! But I doubt it was an entirely natural process. She's yearned for city life and believed that the city is where she belongs. She acts like she's been unjustly torn away from the city. From what I've heard, she's been to the city no more than 4 times in her life, so I seriously doubt she's really a city girl at heart. Well, justified or not, that's how she acts, so I guess I can't blame the locals for treating her like an outsider. As a result, she had nowhere to belong. That's when actual city folk, moved in, and she set her sights on me. She believes that if she can control me, she can control her delusion of the city. By the time I realized that, it was too late. Nearly half a year had passed. Hey, are you listening? We wait for the train station at the empty platform as it gradually gets darker. Yeah. I'm sleepy. Nearby is an unmanned police box, an old worn out beauty parlor, and some sort of office. There's also a field. That's pretty much it. It almost makes you think we're in the middle of a desert or something. Oh, yeah. If you're not interested, then just say so. I'm interested. Sorry, must have been tough. What a mean teacher. If you want to pretend you were listening, you could brush up on your acting skills. I'm not in my home city anymore. If I don't do things my way, I'll just get swallowed up. I won't come see you anymore. I must drop everything I've got to wring out those words. I'm not doing this anymore. But you're my precious friend. I can't believe you'd say something like that. We aren't friends. Friends are equals. You've got a lot of nerve to say that when you don't even have friends besides me. I have friends back in the city. I talked to them about you, and they all said you were mean. They worried about me, so I've worked up the courage to put my foot down. That's a lie. I'm as emotionally distant from my city friends as I am physically distant from the city. I was only ever in a friend group with fellow outcasts, so it's not like those relationships were ever going to last anyway. But I figure it's a lie I need to tell to show her just how firmly I'm putting my foot down. I'm not a good liar, but she has no way of finding out the truth. The rest is just a question of how bold I can be. What an obvious lie, as if you've got any friends. Voice is as cold as a window pane in the dead of winter. It seems like she's been seen through my entire bluff. But that's all just for show. She's just as weak of a girl as I am. So I just mimic her and speak as coldly as I can. Fine. You're free to believe whatever you want. The train's getting closer to the platform, so I can't hear what she mutters under her breath. You! She takes a step towards me. Her face is twisted with rage. But I still kind of think she's cute. Not exactly the best time to space out. By the time I snap back to my senses, I realize there's no more ground underneath my left foot. I've been thrust away. I'm falling helplessly from the platform onto the railroad track below. Oh no. The sound of the train sliding onto the platform grows nearer and nearer. Eep! It's a 3-point fall. First from my left foot, then my butt, and finally my shoulders. I'm in agonizing pain. That's not good. The train slides into the platform on the opposite side as my ears pick up a distorted grating sound of its brakes. Oh, okay. It's on the other side. In any case, I'm alive. That's the kind of relief I was ready to. That's kind of a relief since I was ready to die. But the relief subsides seconds later when I see the girl who shoved me and the flames of rage ignite. Hey, were you trying to kill me? Or are you out of your mind? She looks down at me from the platform, and so speaking timidly, she yells at me in a low voice I've never heard her use before. Are you trying to say I'm the same as the other shitty kids in this shitty town in this shitty middle of nowhere? I guess it's easy to shit talk when you're shit too. Do you think you're hot shit just because you were born in the city when my parents graduated from a proper university, unlike yours? University? Why the hell are you talking about university? You're no city girl, you're a shitty bumpkin born in the shitty sticks. This exchange of words is completely pointless. I can't stand staying here, I just want to fly away. What city friends? As if, you're obviously lying. There's nothing charming about you at all. That's the point in associating. What's the point in associating with you? There are no kids who would ever want to be your friend. Not here, not in the city, and not in this entire world. Yes, there are. There definitely are. There definitely are. This may just be a meaningless yelling competition, but now I've put it to words. I feel like that's exactly what I want to be. Exactly what I want to be true. There has to be someone out there in this world who wants to be my friend and who I would want to be friends with. There has to be. When I think about it like that, I start to tear up for some reason. Maybe it's just a way to cope with reality, but as long as I believe it to be true, I'm sure I can grow stronger in my own way. There must be someone waiting to meet me out there, somewhere far away from this stupid place. I can't meet them unless I look for them. In the meantime, I have to make myself someone worth meeting. I'll come see you someday. That's why I can't rot and die in a place like this. I look up at that pitiful girl with a defiant smile. She runs away in fear, and by the time a police car and ambulance arrive, I've been laughing the entire time. As a result, the doctors have my head inspected too. Well, at least I got a funny memory out of it. Well then. Whew. The day I looked at her and then saw her. Okay. Well, I'd read the next one, but I'm too sleepy and my throat is super dry. Okay. Well, let's find someone to read. I am tired. And tired I am. Yep, it is bedtime. Thank you for coming. It was good to see you all. Let's see. Let's see. Is anyone else playing GHOSTPIA right now? I doubt it. Excuse me. No, it's just me. Well, we're not leaving yet. Let's see. Who do we got? Who do we got? We got lots of people. Oh my goodness. Sweet dreams, you too. Okay, let's see. Oh, Fern is live. I haven't seen Fern in a while. So let's go raid Fern. Alright, we're going raid Fern. I think she's doing karaoke. Okay, Night Night. I can talk. Night Night asked her, please get some good sleep, recover, drink lots of water, okay? Good night, Ninetail. Um, I don't know who else is here, but thank you for being here. It's good to see you all. Tomorrow is Stardew. I'm excited. Thank you again for subbing with Prime 90. I don't think you're still here, but thank you, dear. I had fun, so I guess we have the last chapter, so we'll probably finish the game next week. Um, yeah. We're gonna go raid Fern. She's very sweet. Be nice. And I will see you guys tomorrow night for some Stardew. Please get some good sleep. Drink water, brush your teeth. Eat something if you haven't yet. Not in that order. Please eat something, then brush your teeth. But I love you guys. Mwah. Have a lovely rest of your evening slash night slash morning, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you guys later. I'm just gonna have to time it right out. Yeah, I was not expecting it any of that to actually happen. I was out of nowhere. We got some lore dumps, I guess. But bye, guys. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.